Hey everybody, good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you are. I'm on the West Coast, so it's still the morning. Hope you're having a good weekend so far. Sami Abusaad here with the Strategic Swing Trader. We're going to go ahead and take a look at some swing ideas for next week. We have a very nice watch list to look at. And we'll start off by doing what we always do. We'll look at the market and analyze it. I came out with a video last week calling this the market top, and I took several shorts, and most of which, with the exception of one, I believe, worked out. And now the market is kind of back up a little bit. This is the daily chart of the QQQ, and unfortunately, it's looking a little bit bullish. We have the beginning of a W pattern, so we're getting close to the prior top. This is tough because we have short-term bullishness. Look at the Q's hourly chart. Looks pretty good to go back up, and yet I do think this top holds. So here's what I want to say. When I said this is the market top, I was right, of course. But when I said this was the market top, if you go back and look at the video, you'll see that I didn't expect the market to fall apart. I did expect the market to have topped out, and it did. And I expect it to go sideways, maybe drop a little bit more. I'm going to look at the weekly chart here with you to 170 or so, coast sideways before going back up, because I just didn't expect the market to make a new all-time high, okay, after a 3-month rally, basically. So I didn't expect the market to continue up, and I expected it to pull back a little bit and go sideways maybe for a little while before proceeding higher. When you have a market correction, I'm going to show you the monthly chart now, the QQQ, which is the same as the SPY. The Qs is just a little bit more bullish. Now the Qs is the tracking ETF for the NASDAQ 100. When you have a market correction, as we did in December, well, from October through December, if the market were to continue lower, if the market were to indeed, if we were to go into a recession, basically, we would absolutely not have retraced as much. We would not have gone back above the 20-period moving average. That's for sure. Because in order to get a market top after the sell-off, the market needs to go sideways for a little while to allow the 20-period moving average to flatten out, and curl, and starts to point, right? Starts to break down. So that's how market tops form, is you get the moving average to flatten out, or that's one way. Another way is if it's through acceleration, when the market goes totally climactic. This is very rare. It happened, and it didn't actually happen in 2007. It happened, I don't know if I can go back. See, in 2007, we didn't accelerate. It happened in the year 2000, in the tech bubble, where the market just went vertical. When that's the case, then there would be no need for the market, for the moving average, the 20-period moving average, to actually flatten out. So as I said, I didn't expect the market, as I said in last week's video, predicting the top. I wasn't saying, like I did here, this is the top, we're never ever going to go back above it. I was just saying, this is the top for the time being. I'm out of my 401k. I think we come in and then maybe go sideways, and then from there continue higher. Okay? Now, the market is looking like it's going to go back up a lot sooner than I expected, for sure. So it's a tough call. I have some fantastic ideas long, some fantastic ideas short. Most of the plays that I do are on their own page anyway, for the most part. So I don't care to a certain degree about what the market does, but I like to be on the right side of the market. At the moment, I have maybe 4 or 5 shorts open positions. Some of which have already trailed out. Like I said, I took a bunch of shorts when I thought the market topped out. This was nice, ABC, trailed out though. It actually reached target 1, which was 76 bucks. Target 2, it never reached, but it trailed out. After you get 2 red bars in a row, what I do is, that's a tip for you. What I do is I go bar by bar. I trail bar by bar. ABC, BGCP also trailed. This was a nice short. Trailed out on Friday. What else? EXPR, I know, trailed after being short with a very, very tight stop. So trailed out. So I had a bunch of shorts trail out, but I still have 4 or 5, and I also have a couple of longs. So At the moment, I don't have a great read on the market. Short-term bullish, and yet we are close to that prior top. So I wouldn't want to be too bullish, okay? I'm hoping the market fails and continues lower because I have more shorts on board than I do longs. Some watches for Monday, for tomorrow. ACIU, a little thin, but that's a transition A breakout, transitioning out of a stage 1 to stage 2. So I like the ACIU long. DPLO is the same, is a transition A. Granted, it's a bit more questionable because it's under the moving average rather than above it. But I also think this has fallen a lot more, so I don't mind giving it a try as a long. I'm not going to give you the numbers, but you have to be subscribers to get those. But I don't mind trying the DPLO. KHC as a base breakout right here looks good. Also transition A, monthly Climo. If that's not climactic, then I don't really know what is. It just needs to break out above the base, okay? So without me giving you the numbers, because I like to reserve that for subscribers, look, you just check the top of the base. You say the top is 33.19, entries above it. The stop, you can get it off the daily or the hourly chart under the base. Does that make sense? So if you're willing to do the work, even if I don't give you the exact entry and stop, you should be able to figure it out. Now, as far as target, the prior resistance is usually what target is, unless you're looking to hold it as a core play. Remember I gave you the ATHM just a couple weeks ago as a core play right here? Remember that? Go back to, well, 3 weeks ago. Go back to the video I did on the weekend of the 8th or the 9th, whatever that weekend was. March 9th. Just go back to that weekend and talk and listen to that video that I did on the ATHM and other ideas, but I said this is the core play. And why? Because it was setting up on the monthly, weekly, monthly, right? So yesterday I had a 13% rally. Pretty nice if you kept it. Now, it did get a little sloppy. Could have easily gotten shaken out. But continuing on with the list, we have also NLNK, which is another. All 4 of these are transition A ideas. Transition A meaning we have 4 cycles to every stock. When it goes from stage 1 to stage 2, right? That's called a transition A. So that's stage 1 to stage 2 goes to transition A, and always the cycle repeats. So you get these waves, okay? All right, so this is NLNK. It has a beautiful weekly chart also. Beautiful weekly, possibly transitioning higher. I remember when I shorted it at, I think, 13 bucks, right here somewhere. Maybe not 13. Maybe the target was 13. And I covered it at $10 or something at the 20 MA. So here it is at 18, not 13. Shorted it, covered it at the 20, thinking, wow, what a great trade. It's at $1 now or something like this. Can you believe it? Now, there's no way to predict that it was going to fall apart beyond the initial. This is climactic. That's when a stock goes climactic, and that's not sustainable. Shorted it, covered, trailed out. But from there, that's, oh, I exited at 13 or 12 bucks, but then it continued all the way down to $1. Now it's at $2 almost. So I like it higher. NLNK. TEUM is a daily buy setup with a W pattern forming. So here's the initial buy setup. This was not really playable because it went climactic. When a stock goes climactic like so, then the first buy setup is not playable. Now the second buy setup right here, stop right here, is okay. It's still a little aggressive because the gap a couple of days ago got sold, which was bearish. So the TEUM is a daily buy setup, and then TRVN is another daily buy setup at the rising 20 and also at minor support. I have some other backup ideas. I just don't want to make the video too long where you lose focus or you get bored with me. Apple, for example. Apple looks great on the hourly chart. Looks much better than the market. Right? BHC, which used to be VRX, right? Buy setup. CN, I think, is a core idea. Broke out on the monthly. Check this out. Broke out over, I believe, a 9 year range. Look at this CN. Over a 9-year range. Broke out, and now it's giving us a pullback on the weekly chart. Check it out. The chart is loading up. That's a pullback right to the rising 20 on the weekly chart. So this is in the right area to start going back up on the weekly time frame. The daily still has a declining 20, so it might actually stop out before continuing higher. So what I recommend if you want to get involved in this, again, I didn't want to talk about some of these because they're going to take a little bit of time to analyze because they don't have multiple time frame alignment, is I would give it a little bit of room. Or you can do it over the base, stop under it, and hope that it goes through the 20 MA on the daily chart and continues higher because it's good on the weekly, on the monthly. Okay, so that's CN. Cold. Wow. I mean, that's cold-blooded bullish. Look at this. Unbelievable. Candy, by the way, Candy fell 40% and back down to, it's doing a transition A on the monthly, back down to support on the monthly, back down to support on the weekly, to the rising 20, back down to the 200 MA on the daily. So I like Candy, but we need a good entry. We don't have a great entry over here, stop under, so over Friday's high, stop below it. We don't have a great entry, but it has a great location, a great spot. Candy fell 40 to 50% off the top. NOG is a long-term play. Check out the monthly chart. I don't even have to talk about it. You'll see the monthly and you'll recognize it at once. It's a transitionary buy setup on the monthly. What a gorgeous setup. NOG, PTI. I'm going to go back to the daily time frame. See, I use the weekly, I use the daily, the weekly, and the monthly when I'm swing trading. And I use the hourly also for entries. But the daily, weekly, and monthly, I like to see them in alignment before I take a play. PTI broke down on Friday, and the breakdown got rejected. So now I like it to go back up. TEUM, I guess I already talked about it. VFF, another, what is it? Another weed stock, weed related, has a buy setup. Okay, nice hourly chart on the VFF. Some short watches. CNAT, I'm already in, but looks lower still. CNAT, not too late if you want to get it. GME is just not looking too good at all. Looks lower, lower, lower. Under the base, stop above it. All-time lows. HOG is got a daily sell setup. Now, the truth is that I don't love the daily sell setup much. I don't like it a lot, but it's also right off the declining 20 on the weekly. Just want to show you. Right off the declining 20 on the monthly. Okay, almost. So I like the HOG on multiple time frames. It's like the ABC. Off the daily on the day, off the 20 MA on the daily, off the 20 MA on the weekly, worked. Got to target and moved back up. So HOG sell setup to 33.50, I believe. 33.64, and then maybe it gets to 32, which would be target 2. But in order for it to get to 32, you have to monitor the market and make sure the market is still bearish. If the market is not bearish, then it will not get down to 32. Legacy is a 50-cent stock, but who cares? It can go to 0. Looks lower. If you look at the tight base, so under it, stop above it. I've shorted 10-cent stocks multiple times, 10, 20. That ended up going to 1 penny, 2 pennies, 3 pennies. So you can still make money with even a 50-cent stock, believe it or not. It's all about share sizing and reward to risk. NLY and ORC are a couple of what do you call them? REITs, couple of REITs, and they look lower. Had an ex dividend inside bar, so under the base, all the way down to 980. Doesn't seem like a lot of room. So if you short it here, target there, that's only 20 cents. But look, it's all about reward to risk. You get about 2 to 1. It's actually slightly more than 2 to 1. So you 2 to 1 reward to risk. This is your stop. This would be the stop. This would be the entry, and this is the target. So it's about 2 to 1. The better setup or the more reward to risk is on the ORC because it has a much tighter inside bar. So this is a true 1, 2, 3. Short, stop, and look at the target. So that's 3 to 1, 4 to 1 on the ORC. WDR is a daily sell setup. Not bad because it's also off the declining 20 on the weekly chart. So I like it. And just like the longs, I always have also backup ideas, but I try to share with you the ones that I think are more ready. Now, during the day tomorrow on Monday, I'll be going over these also during the day to see if they set up, if they look better. COT. under the base, stop above it. It looks good on the weekly and the monthly, I believe. COT, yes, right off the declining 20 on the weekly and the monthly. LL, daily sell setup with a large rounding top on the hourly chart with a breakout failure right here. So not bad. And Nelson, 1, 2, 3, short. Nelson was a great day trade in the strategic day trader room. So a couple of days ago on Thursday, it was a beautiful trade. It made $17 or $1,800 as a short. Now I tried it short earlier in the morning. It made $900, but then I tried it again and it failed. But look, in the afternoon, set up again. I just went short to you. Under the base, stop above, and then it gave us another 1, 2, 3. Short under this one more time, stop above the green bars low, and cover at 61. Once the offer got taken out. So the offer, the low of the day was 60. So it wasn't a huge move, but you can make a lot of money if you have a tight stop. Okay. So Nelson has a 1, 2, 3 on the daily chart. NLY we already talked about, and ORC we already talked about. So these are just some backup ideas. These are the main ones for Monday. Now, cryptocurrency market has been hot, has been bullish. This is the BTC, Bitcoin, which is kind of like the SPY or the QQQ for the stock market. This is basically the market for the cryptocurrency. For the cryptocurrency market. So BTC is bullish. It does have a big top and tail here, but I'm not looking to take BTC. I like ETH more, which is Ether, over the double top. See that? So I like Ether over the base higher. Now, it's not problem free. It's not very far from the next resistance area, but notice how it's basing bullishly. It's been basing bullishly the entire month of March, since the beginning of March to now the end of March. Beginning of April, it's been basing bullishly, and now the moving average is below price, so it should break out. So I like Ether. I mentioned Ether when it was at 30 something or 20 something. I actually played it here, and it worked nicely. So now I'm looking at a second play in Ether. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Notice there's no fluff in my videos. There's no hype. There's nothing like that. You're never going to see me hyping stuff up or lying to your face like a lot of other people do. So I try to keep it as practical, as realistic as possible, because that's just who I am. But also, you don't need to hype things up if you're a real trader, if you're making money. The ones that hype stuff up, why do you think they do that? Because they're not real traders. So if you like what you see, if you want to participate in plays like these, or if you want to actually just tag along, figure out which ones I'm personally going to be taking. I'll tell you how many I'm taking. I called 7 trades for tomorrow. 4 longs and 3 shorts. Official trades for strategic swing trader members, newsletter members. So if you would like to participate, okay, then feel free to check out the links in the description of this video. If you'd like to, that's for swing trading. If you'd like to day trade with me, there's actually currently an offer where you can join me and trade with me for 30 days for just $49. It's a no-brainer. It's like free almost to just day trade with me for 30 days. So check out the link in the description of this video. I sure hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, and if you found benefit in it, please be sure to hit the like button and enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'll talk to you on the next video. Take care, everybody. Have a good one.